All right, it's a Tuesday here at Westlane, and we're starting off with the song called Independent Women by Destiny's Child, which was Beyonce before Beyonce became Beyonce.
Got her started.
90s song, I'll tell you what, yeah, that's quintessential 90s right there.
Love Destiny's
Like,
Child.
listen, if all you know is Beyonce, the solo artist, you got to go. Destiny's Child was great, and so I can't believe that's in. I'm just pulling up 90s hits so the students will learn more about the great generation or the great decade of the 90s songs. And I'm like, that was a 90s song? I felt like that was in the 2000s, but
no, yeah. That was probably late 90s, right?
The fact is here, we're old. I'm old.
You're old.
And we're the same age, so I know I feel old sometimes. Like,
we appreciate all music.
Yes. Like I wouldn't listen, I was a baby in the 70s and I still love that music when it comes on.
Yeah. No, I'm a big John Denver fan. John Denver he's my jam.
We'll have to play some John Denver. Although the kids will, the kids will recognize one of John Denver's most famous songs because I think the video game Fallout 76, which is set in I think 2076, is that song. It's set in West Virginia, so they played that song.
Country Road, Take Me Home, Country Roads. Oh yeah. My son knows that song, and I'm like, how did you learn that?
Yeah. Also, I think they did a compilation a few years back with some like the greatest country songs of all time.
Wow.
Although like the Dolly Parton version of "I'll Always Love You" was a great song, also by Whitney Houston. For the Bodyguard, so that like one of those where it went number one with two different artists and both really well done. So
yep. It was John Denver's the man.
So I would like to talk a bit about if you look at and not too many people, I don't know how like at me, I'm a noticer. I see a lot of things and I'm able to pick up but the kids today, and we're filming this nearly live. It's like almost 10 o'clock. So
it is live.
Well, yeah. I mean, we're close to presentation time, but I'm out here with the kids this morning. I'm like, hey, check out that down there, 6th grade hallway, like 609, 610, 611, 612, and 613 gone. Well, partially gone. We're moving some of the rubble from that, and the kids are like, what? Like, yeah, notice things, and it looks like too. There's an exterior wall that kind of comes off of where Mr. Urban's old room was and Miss Monroe's room. That was because they can tell there's exposed brick there. So it's like where the concession stand is, like that might be where the original building ended up. Oh. And then they added on. Because if you ever look where the connector was for that room between the 6th and 7th grade and then the science closet, I believe that all was added on later beyond that. And that's where the old building ended when they first, because I think all the rooms were as long as the old 8th grade hallway. I mean, I wonder how long it's going to be talking to us about that too, how old we are. Well, in my day, the 8th grade hallway was shorter than the rest of them.
I remember
but it definitely goes to the changes that are happening.
Yeah.
Like right before our eyes. Like we didn't get to see unless you drove in here, you didn't get to see the 8th and 7th grade being demolished.
Well, and the 7th graders get like, front row view if you're Miss Webb's class or Mr.
Everybody on science
and social
studies and one room of Mr. Baker and Miss Jackson get to see that front row of demolition, destruction.
So, yeah,
it's kind of cool.
I know, it is kind of neat. It just kills me how fast they knock these things down.
And then I believe the wall that's closed that those kids can see, that wall is sticking around. It's the wall that's beyond that they're gonna have to take out and move out like they did, like my office here. I'm actually sitting where the kids used to sit on those 3 tables by the conference room. That's kind of where I'm at. And then my old office is now the conference room, but they took it down to a certain part of the wall, then they replaced the windows for the renovation. This won't be new. This will be a lot of new construction coming out. But on the back end, that will be just a renovation. So it's why it takes a little less time to do.
Yeah.
Actually, it'll take a lot less time to do than the 7th and 8th grade.
It's awesome. And they're doing such nice work. This is a beautiful building.
The interesting part will be next year when they, in October, when we bring the 6th graders back in their rooms or November, I guess. So Supposed to be done October 29th. That's my most
Mhm.
recent time. It's just going to be done then. But then they'll have to start taking out the inside. We'll have weirdness because we'll be inside where we have to still kind of walk around.
Yeah.
Where they'll be doing construction on the media center, on the Paces room, on the and in the 500s. So and then Mr. Dawson, Mr. King are going to get a really nice Project Lead the Way area that's kind of all encased in glass. So we'll be able to watch them anytime as we come in. They're doing the coding and robotics. So, but that'll be weird because that'll be done because the office would have been done when kids were walking by it, but because we were out, no one saw it. So this is going to be really interesting to watch how they do this while we're here. So we'll have barricades and stuff, and we'll talk a lot about that safety coming forward. But it's a cool day. So as you drive in or you ride out on buses, check out how we've lost 4 rooms there, and it's just
absolutely
they're gone. So they're scooping it up now.
Yep. Love it.
All right, we got a packed announcement today. We got quite a bit of cool stuff coming. So here we go. All right, it is Tuesday, March the 9th, 2021, and these are your morning announcements. First off, students, don't forget to start your day at Canvas at msdwt.instructure.com. Every day starts at Canvas. Also, parents, start your day every day at westlaneparents.com. That is our parent portal, and we also have Parent Square as well. Make sure you are on that all the time. All right, sorry about that. I need to get back my, there we go. So Westlane Parents, go to westlaneparents.com and the parent portal. I apologize for that. I lost my controls there for a second. All right, Ms. Barber, let's go over the new ones here we're having to work with when we come back in next week. So let's just we'll talk about these as we know. So listen, come back 4 days next week. Okay. That's not a secret. We've been talking about it, and you've gotten a lot of communication from our district. So we want to talk about the bottom ones here. When we talk about it, we're still wearing a mask all day. Okay. Except for the cafeteria. The cafeteria will run the same, although we'll be a little closer in the cafeteria than 6 feet. So that's gonna be really important when you turn around, like we say now, when you turn around, mask back up. Make sure you wash your hands and use hand sanitizer. And honestly, if there weren't a coronavirus, that's still a important thing. Maintain 6 feet of social distancing. Now we're gonna be able to do that in a lot of our classes still. But it's important for you guys when you walk down the hallway, we maintain 6 feet of social distancing. And we're also limiting that contact time of 15 minutes consecutive. So we make sure we're breaking the contact time of 6 feet. And 6 feet, I think too, some of you think 6 feet is a lot, but really it's not that much. If you look down on all these floors, the tile floors out here, it's essentially just 6 of those blocks. So those are 12 inches by 12 inches, which is a foot. So 6 of those will be 6 feet, and including diagonally, but you can't go like crossing up. You have to be like 6, either diagonal or vertical or horizontal squares away. That's 6 feet of social distancing. And then in your classrooms, the tiles, I believe in the new spaces, are 2 feet by 1 feet, and you can tell which way they go. Right. So that's another way of social distancing. This is the most important part, and we've had this all in effect all year. It's just there've been so few kids that we've not really. Maybe we don't like you or not to use restrooms during passing periods. We have actually built in restroom times during your day for you to use the restrooms. So that's something that we need to make sure we're every day. And there should no be, and then that goes with to be respectful, being on time to class. There is no reason to be late to any classes. Number one, there's no locker stops. Okay. Because you keep everything in your bag, and then there's no restroom stops. So, and then you can get from upstairs, let's say upstairs, Ms. Peacock's class is probably the farthest away from any room. Okay. So to get to, let's say, the art class, which is or I'll say band, we'll say band. It takes about 2 minutes. So really, without restroom pat without using the restroom without locker passes or going to lockers. I'm not certain how we can't get to class on time every day. Okay, so that's something that if that is an issue, then we'll call parents and have them come in here and kind of walk you different areas or look at different because we got to make sure we know where you're at all times of the day, especially for contact tracing if we need to go that route.
Right.
And then last one is keep your. Oh, go ahead, Barbara.
Is that we're doing this, but we still have to make sure we're following COVID protocols because COVID's not gone away. It's still here. So where I know it still seems like we're very structured, we have to be because we have to keep ourselves here. So we have to follow these guidelines and be on time, and we have to know where you're at.
And that's why too, we have each person. And so like if it's an emergency in periods 2/6 or 2 or 3 around lunches, we also have a protocol for you to get a pass and sign out and sign back in. But there's no reason, because I know some of you are meeting up with people, if that's going to become an issue too, then we're going to talk about you going to school in a different way. I don't want to leave with consequences, but that's certainly something that we're going to keep track of. Also, too, now keep your phones put away.
Yes.
Because I think some of you are walking with your phones, and really, we've always been a no phone place. But again, teachers and we have been very kind because there's been very few kids in an area. But phones need to be put away in your backpack during class as well. Okay. And don't say, "Well, I need to look up something." Well, everybody has a computer, and you have to take it home. Right. So there is no anything you need to look up is on the computer. Okay. So keep your phone put away, keep them put in your backpack. We're still carrying backpacks around. That's going to be in effect all the way until the end of the school year. We're not changing that because again, we want to make sure the hallways, we want to make sure that we control all the movement in the building, not because we want to know where you're at. We need to know that for safety purposes for COVID. So make sure those 3 things, big time this week practicing. Next week we're into 4 days, making sure that we follow all these pieces. So
absolutely,
but make sure. I mean, that's the thing.
We gotta do our part.
Make sure we go over. These are all room norms, and of course, we always have the Zoom norms as well. Again, don't share out the Zoom links, Canvas passwords, and make sure your Zoom is first name, last name. The rest of these 2, this is for the 100% virtual kids next week. There still will be a group of students who are 100% virtual. Yep. And that is going to be something we're going to still have people come in, although there's going to be a majority now of in-person people. So then the teachers will be working on them for that.
Which makes it, I think, and when you look at that responsible piece, knowing that there's a lot more kids now in person, this logging in on time is so important because they're moving. And so you have to be there when class starts or you're going to miss out. So those of you on Zoom, make sure you're logging in before class starts.
And we have not changed our bell schedule. We're not changing our bell schedule whatsoever. So there's no reason to say I didn't know it. Nope. It's the same bell schedule we've run all year.
Yep.
All right. Any technology issues, again, even if we're here in the building, please call 317-254-5566 or fill out the form that is on westlaneparents.com. You all have access to it, even you students. And right below that weekly schedule is this phone number, and then the form is right below that too for any tech issues. 8th grade, you'll still be selecting your classes for North Central this week, not beginning this week, but you'll still be doing that this week. 6th grade, are you interested in honors, science, and social studies for next year? Please make sure you fill out the application and get your current teacher's recommendation. Not necessarily has to be social studies and science, but it would help. But any teacher that you have, will contact them and have them fill out a recommendation for you. Don't forget, 6th graders, our AVID recruitment is underway. Again, this is for this AVID program here at Westlane is a big deal. We are Indiana's only showcase school and our school-wide side of distinction. And so we'll make sure that you continue on that tradition and be part of it. And so if you want to make sure you sign up in the AVID recruitment 21-22 class that you have. And I know some of you declined it. When we send you out class requests and it comes like this, don't delete it. Because then we can resend it, but it's just like don't delete that class. There's no reason to. Don't delete that course. And so get that filled out, and then we'll start interviewing here in a little bit. So it's coming right up. All right. Don't forget Westlane Safe, our student alliance for equity. His next meeting is Monday, March 15th at 12:05 to 1 o'clock on Zoom. All club information and Zoom links can be found on Safe Canvas course. Any questions, please see Ms. Courtney. Cool. And March is Women's History Month. I know we've mentioned that a few times, but we wanted to make sure that you knew it was Women's History Month. And our focus today, and again, we'll focus on students, we'll focus on teachers, we'll focus on individuals. And people have been sending us for both, they're still sending us impact for people who've made an impact, and then also have been sending us people for Women's History Month. It's also Disability Month as well, and they'll be sending us these. But again, so today's focus is actually, Ms. Barbara, you're my boss. It's your boss and my boss, all our bosses. And again, you know who came through for us again with another great presentation was our PACES students, Stevie Helm, Ben Cherry, and Jacob Riemenschneider.
Nice, boys.
They did a great job here. I'm gonna tell you, this is interesting. I've read this a couple of times. It's very cool. So they're talking about the impact of Dr. Nikki Woodson. And she was born on March 14th, and her birthplace was Tennessee, and she earned her undergrad from Ball State, her graduate degree from Butler, and then her doctor of philosophy. That's why she's Dr. Woodson from Purdue University. That's Purdue. You know, everybody knows what that is. So, she is named to actually impact her superintendent of Washington Township since May of 2011. So she's in her 10th year of that. She's the first African-American female superintendent in Marion County and one of the youngest in the state of Indiana when she was appointed. And then she's also responsible for almost 12,000 students and about 1,600 employees. And Dr. Woodson said that she always wanted to be an educator. She knew that if she could go to school every day for work, that she would enjoy her job. At her high school, her teachers showed her various roles that served schools, and she was intrigued with administration. And she said that in a college mission letter reference from her counselor during her senior year. She wrote, Nikki wants to become a teacher, but ultimately wants to be a superintendent of a public school district, and she's living her dream.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. So she was a graduate from Ball State, Gold, which graduated last decade, and then the Purdue University Fellow. She's been recognized by the United Negro College Fund for her commitment to children. It was named Indy's Best and Brightest in her field for education. Breakthrough Woman of the Year. She was honored by International Educator Global of Indiana, American Association for School Administrators, the 2013 Women in School Leadership. And then President Obama back in 2014 invited her as one of the 100 superintendents to be in our Future Ready White House Summit.
That's so cool.
And I know the boys, and I know Ms. Richardson helped a lot with it, but she helped set up this, the kids to talk to her. So her goal is for Washington Township is that all students have their needs met through our services and that they grow academically and socially from where they enter with us in a way that they focus on equity that is not even needed because their individual needs are being met and no racial gaps exist. So that's her goal for Washington Township. And again, too, making an impact. She had a dream all the way back in high school. Like, I'll tell you what, I thought I might want to be a teacher in high school, but there was no way that I was ever going to be a principal of a school. Yeah. I didn't think that when I started out teaching. I'm like, nope, I'm happy being a teacher.
You know, I loved it last week when they all came over to visit for the construction. The first thing she did when she came in the cafeteria was went straight to the kids. I mean,
yeah, couldn't keep her around like that. Like, we're trying to 6 feet. Yep.
She just went straight into the kids, and that's just a true educator. You know, that's where her heart is, and talked to so many kids, and they're like, "Who are you?" And she, you know,
yeah, some kids asked me who that was when they were all following me out. We went out in the cafeteria and cafetorium and came back out like, "Who's that?" Well, that's my boss. And then Mr. Doss, my boss, Mr. Doss, was here. And then four of the board members were here. And actually, Ms. Kruger, who's a new board member, I actually remember having her youngest daughter, Annie, in my science class years ago. And so I know some of the Arcoga Creek kids had her last year. Yeah. And so, so they were introduced some of the kids. And then some of the people were construction, but the kids were interested in seeing who the people were
That was
walk
really
by,
special.
walking
That
around.
was real special. I mean, how often do you
Yeah.
get to meet your superintendent and then to have her just come on in? It was awesome. So they enjoyed that.
So nice job. Listen, nice job, you three, and thank you, Ms. Richardson, for helping them out
Yeah.
with this. But you guys have done a spectacular job on these.
Yeah.
So you guys, I need to get them something because they've done such a good job of sharing with us women who made an impact, African Americans who made an impact, and so I'm looking forward for their next project. I'm just going to keep showing things until they stop sending them to
They
me.
should
So
send us something for Disability Awareness Month.
yes, and then you know what, the rest of you guys too, if you want to send something in for Disability Awareness Month, it's also Student Mental Health Awareness Month, and we'll try to get some mental health folks in here, Miss Bosick, Miss Jordan, Miss Patzel, and then also some of our Cummins folks to talk about some mental health, mental wellness things you can do. And so, yeah, it's a busy week.
Happy birthday!
All right, we've got a birthday today. You can tell by because the candles are lit. There's no birthday, and then the cake falls to the floor. But if there's a birthday, we got one. So this one's Cameron Abernathy.
Happy birthday!
I know it's Cameron Abernathy's birthday too because she is the top student in my list. Whenever I run any kind of list, Cameron's always at the top because Abernathy is like one of the top ones alphabetically. Because I always see her first. And sometimes we have pictures, her picture shows up first. So happy birthday, Cameron.
Birthday.
To our alphabetically number one student.
There you go.
Here we go. There we go. Packed sports report today. And actually with Women's History Month, we had a lot of our girls teams did super well last week. So first off, last Thursday, the Westlane girls basketball team went over. We played at Northview so we could have a bigger crowd. They defeated Crescent 47-18 in round one of the MIC and advanced to the semifinals. Now they did fall as the Center Grove in the semifinals. So they had the final four of the MIC, and they did lose to Center Grove Central. And actually, Center Grove Central ended up upsetting Fall Creek Valley the next game, and they ended up winning it. But look at this record. They ended their season with a 16-2 record, losing only to the top two teams in the MIC, Fall Creek Valley and Center Grove Central. They also are back-to-back district champs. They're back to they went far. Like last year, they were runner-up in the Marion County tournament. So this group of girls, the group of eighth graders, such a good job.
So proud.
Just really, they're gonna walk out of here as one of the finest girls teams ever to step foot in Westlane. And we've had we've had some really good teams. So they're gonna walk out of here as one of the best. And thank you to Coach McGee and Coach Smith for coaching them up this last year. It wasn't always easy because of COVID and things like that. It was smaller crowds, but they did a great job, and we're really proud of them. But our success does not stop there. Our dance team is going to state. Our dance team, our award-winning dance team, and Coach Peacock is going to state, the state finals. And whenever we get there, we'll let you know a little more information about that. But it's such a good job the other day. So nice job, girls dance team. Also, too, we want to talk about, Ms. Barr's on the phone, so I'm going to talk about tennis call-outs. We're having another tennis call-outs. Check your Canvas page for that. All right. Going back to here, why we Brad put that in here. So let's go here. Don't forget the mission of Westlane Middle School is to develop lifelong learners and globally minded citizens by fostering academic, creative, and social skills needed to achieve excellence in a multicultural environment. Every Wildcat, every day gets better. And folks, today, enjoy your day and have a great Tuesday.
Question, tell me how you feel about this. Try to control me, boy, you get dismissed. Pay my own